Mike watches movies that are low on the charts. Adam picks the ones that inspire the arts. Ivy has a brand that has monsters, wolves, and dogs. And Vin tries to pick a movie that isn't a total slog. So don't watch these films unless you are guided. Join us for To Be Decided.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Film Logic's To Be Decided. My name is Mike, and we got a whopper for you today. Who's with me? No
It's
one's
me,
with me.
your boy.
You are alone in the eighth dimension.
Oh,
Wait,
But don't worry, Mike, because no matter where you go, there you are.
Indeed.
all the winks and nods of today's movie. Adam, I think you introduced yourself. Who
I-
else is here?
I started to.
Yes.
Adam is here,
I'm here.
and I am Ivy, and I am also here.
Wonderful.
And I'm Vin, and I'm also here, wherever here is.
Excellent.
In the
And-
podcast void.
Yes.
If you're just listening to us for the first time, we find movies on Tubi, which is free and delightful and never has failed us, and we review those movies. And today's movie was decided by Vin. Vin, will you tell us about your movie?
Certainly. Absolutely. Well, I want to preface by saying, I want to ask you guys, have you seen Ready Player One?
Unfortunately.
No.
Yeah? No? Yeah. Well, good,
Well,
because
Adam-
this movie
Adam,
is not
weren't you
Ready
in the-
Player One.
You went
What?
to the theater with me when we saw it together?
No, I've made it a point not to watch that movie.
Oh, right. We saw Shazam. Never mind.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, I will file that away for judgment later. But no, well, one minor part of the film adaptation is when the main character, Parzival, decides to get dressed up to go to a dance in the Oasis to meet up with his would-be girlfriend, Artemis. And to do that, he impresses her by dressing up like her favorite movie character, Buckaroo Banzai, which is the titular character of our movie that we are discussing tonight, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. Why was this Artemis's favorite movie? Well, your
Of the
guess is as
80s.
good as mine.
Why does anything in Ready Player One happen?
I don't know, man. It's in the future. I mean, we're already older, and we're just not going to get it.
Yeah,
It's not going to.
it's beyond our comprehension. It's too smart for us, really.
Yeah. We're just
I'm gonna
too skibbity to comprehend.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this movie, correct me if I'm wrong, has the most stars in it per minute
This
compared
Yeah.
to all of our other movies.
this movie, in contrast to its relatively unknown status, is absolutely stacked with stars, because
Mhm.
the title character, the lead, Peter Weller, playing Buckaroo Banzai. And we also have John Lithgow. We have Jeff Goldblum. Um, shoot.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yes,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Christopher Lloyd. Oh,
There's a lot of people that you see them and you're like, oh, I've seen them and stuff.
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh,
I
that
know
guy.
that guy.
Yeah. Oh, that lady.
Okay, so I will read us a 2-minute synopsis of the movie that the robot overlords have so helpfully procured for us.
Oh dear.
Yes. The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension, 1984, is a wildly inventive sci-fi adventure blending action, comedy, and pure eccentricity. The story follows Buckaroo Banzai, a brilliant neurosurgeon, physicist, test pilot, and rock star who leads the Hong Kong Cavaliers, a team of equally gifted adventurers. When Buckaroo successfully pilots a jet car through a mountain using his, quote, Oscillation Overthruster, end quote, he inadvertently opens a door into the eighth dimension, releasing alien creatures called red lectroids that have been trapped there since a failed experiment in 1938. Their leader, the deranged Dr. Emilio Lizardo, brilliantly played by John Lithgow, now possessed by an alien entity, plans to take over Earth and return home to Planet 10. Buckaroo and his eclectic team must race to stop Lizardo and his red Lectroid army before they unleash interdimensional chaos. Along the way, Buckaroo encounters Penny Pretty, a mysterious woman linked to his past, and discovers that not all extraterrestrials are hostile. The benevolent black Lectroids from Planet 10 threaten to annihilate Earth if he fails to stop the invasion. Full of offbeat humor, surreal science, comic book heroics, and quotable lines, the film celebrates the idea that genius and absurdity often go hand in hand. Its closing credits promise Buckaroo Banzai will return, cementing its cult classic status. Now, if you've been paying attention to what I've been reading, just that last sentence, that is the only inaccurate description of what goes on in this movie. Because if you were listening to me and you were having trouble keeping up, like, what? No, everything else is accurate.
Yeah. And you left out like you could do 5 more minutes of like tiny plots here and there, side
Yeah.
stories, winks and
there's
nods at
so
the
many.
audience.
There are so many strings to pull in this film. Like so many leads that don't go anywhere. Like there's a watermelon in the bonsai lab that it's kind of there as a Chekhov's watermelon, and well, it never pays off. I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil that for you right there.
It's a reverse Chekhov's watermelon.
Yeah, it's a failed Chekhov's watermelon.
The more you see it, the less it does. Later in the movie. Reverse. Yes. Yeah, so I went to the deep dark web right after seeing this.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
It took me 1 to 2 to 3 different attempts to consume this movie thinking, am I the crazy one? Am I something's wrong. My brain isn't forming a plot. Well, apparently W.D. Richter, the director, and Earl Mac Rock, the writer, they wanted to make a world that felt lived in. So everything needed to feel like this had been done like for 6 seasons and we were already caught up and we're just being like, oh, that's classic Buckaroo, doing that thing he did in all those other episodes. Which honestly, I thought that this was like a 1950s serial that like it was harkening
Right.
back from. But
Yeah, like
actually,
Flash
this is
Gordon
like
or something,
Yeah.
yeah.
or Buck Rogers or whatever.
No, this is like day one stuff, but it treats it like you've seen this show since like your whole childhood.
hmm hmm Yeah, it just completely front loads, Buckaroo as this enigmatic figure whose reputation precedes him everywhere he goes. Um,
Yeah.
we don't really know all of what his reputation entails, but that's okay because we're being taken along on another one of his adventures, which starts out in the desert, where on a test track course there's this jet truck. I can't
Mhm.
I can't really describe it any better than that. It's a jet truck that apparently was designed to break through different dimensions. And the pilot of the jet truck, Buckaroo Banzai himself, is running late to the test because he's performing a surgery on
Yeah.
an Inuit child, implanting an experimental device that will allow him to control his movements with his brain.
Isn't that how brains normally work?
Isn't that
Yes, well,
supposed to
apparently
happen?
this child was like
That
a
confused me.
paraplegic. Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, it was it was it was a real head scratcher there for me, and that's where we get introduced to Jeff Goldblum's character. I believe he goes by New Jersey, because
Yep.
well, they
He
pick him
wasn't
up in
playing a
New Jersey.
character. It was just Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
pretty
Jeff
much.
Goldbluming all over the place in this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this is probably where he began Jeff Goldbluming in his career.
Honestly, yeah.
Like, Jeff Goldblum in Buckaroo Banzai walked so that Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park could run.
Yeah. This is the
And-
bloomiest he's ever been.
And so, yeah, after completing the surgery and recruiting New Jersey into his Hong Kong Cavaliers, band, asking him, do you play an instrument? Can you sing? He said, yeah, I sing a little. And he finally makes it to the test track. He gets into the jet truck. I can't believe I'm like a jet truck, really. And he takes off down the track, and everything's going to plan. All systems nominal, and all of a sudden, Banzai just veers off to the right and goes off course into a completely unexpected direction. And, of course, his friends are there in the control with him, like, oh, that Banzai doing that thing
Typical.
again. And so he activates the Oscillation Overthruster in this jet truck, which allows him to pass through a mountain, just a giant solid mountain of rock, where he takes a trip through the 8th dimension. And we got alien creatures. Like, I'm pretty sure he's committed interdimensional hit and run during this time.
I thought that's what the plot was about. Like, kills a guy.
Well, it's
You get
not.
the space ticket from a space cop.
Yeah.
Gets sued.
Well, I mean, it's not space vehicular homicide if there's no body. So,
No
But-
evidence, no crime.
Nope. But then he exits the other side of the mountain. He gets out of the jet truck, surveying what's happened, seeing the alien goo or whatever that's ended up on his windshield. And in the undercarriage beneath the truck, he finds this fleshy alien orb that he takes back with him and has the scientists that he's with start to study. But before we can learn about what that is, Banzai and the Cavaliers have a show to play. And so we go to a club where he leads the Hong Kong Cavaliers, and they just completely, like, I don't even know how to describe this jam session. Like, there's a guy with 2 saxophones.
Everyone had
Playing-
a saxophone. Like, I
Yeah.
swear the drummer took one out. The bassist had one.
They're just doing stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone gives crap to the Lost Boys because they have that shirtless saxophone guy. But
They
this
only had one
movie,
saxophone.
yeah, this movie
Mhm.
quintuplifies
Oh,
saxophone.
Well, I mean, back in '84, there was like a minimum saxophone quota in Hollywood.
You couldn't be a rock band.
No. Could not be a rock band without at least 2 saxophones.
Yeah. Also, it's worth pointing out there are approximately 0 Chinese people in the Hong Kong Cavaliers.
Yes. We're just going to go ahead and address that elephant in the room. So lore-wise, Buckaroo Banzai is the child of an American and a Japanese scientist who is played by Peter
The
Weller.
whitest man ever.
Yeah, I was not aware of any kind of, Asian ancestry that would, allow him the way to pull off a character who was half Asian, half Caucasian. Yeah, it's just there is quite the amount of, appropriation in this film.
Yeah,
I think
it's
the
funny.
writers
It's-
just genuinely thought that Hong Kong was in Japan.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The fact that I didn't make that connection. Like, a lot of this movie is just like throwing spaghetti at the wall in order to make it
Well,
sound
Well, actually,
interesting.
I'm sorry, just like real quick, to be fair, Hong Kong might not have been in Japan, but in 1984, it wasn't in China either.
Oh, really?
It was still
Still English,
under the
British.
yes,
Ah.
It's our
under
51st state.
English Parliament jurisdiction.
Interesting.
But I mean, that's neither here or there, because yes, all his entire band, group of scientists, a bunch of eggheads, all white boys. Okay, just gonna paint that picture for you in your head. Just a bunch of white dudes jamming. Oh well, no, except there's one black guy behind the drum kit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
Yeah.
have the token black guy.
of course.
My favorite band member by far is named Perfect Tommy.
Oh,
And
perfect,
they're-
Tommy.
They always call him by his full, I'm assuming his legal name. And there's this one scene that just like sent me cackling where they're in a prison, like a woman's prison, and there's this woman and she just sees him and you just hear her like off screen go, oh my god, it's Perfect Tommy.
Yeah,
that
it's
just-
Perfect Tommy. Everyone knows Perfect
You know,
Tommy.
yeah.
Except Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum doesn't know who Perfect Tommy is.
He
He's
thinks
like-
everyone's name
He's
is
a little out of
Picasso.
touch.
He's like, oh man, I love you guys. Who are you?
He's a
That's
poser.
why I really think that Jeff
Fake
Goldblum
fan.
is the main character and is representative of the audience, because just
Yes.
as much as the movie doesn't make
Mhm.
sense to us, the movie also doesn't make sense to Jeff Goldblum.
Exactly.
Yeah, my favorite
We
thing
are.
is that he's trying to join the band.
Right.
And he's like, oh, they're weird, so I have to fit in. So he shows up in like full, like tacky cowboy costume. And he's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm ready to join the band. And it's like, yeah, that's what you would do to fit in with these guys. Like,
Just like everyone else, it doesn't explain why he showed up or
Yeah.
like what was his purpose. Like, is he like on the #1 fan list or something? I don't know.
Well,
And it-
apparently, Buckaroo picks guys he likes, and
Yeah.
we're usually scientists, and brings them into the band. So
yeah, and I love that Jeff Goldblum is like, oh hey, I'm gonna join your band, and now you're like a commando for Blackstone. Like, what's happening?
you're not a band anymore.
He's like, he just like joins what is arguably what seems like, the third superpower of the world. Like they're going toe to toe with 1980s United States government and Russia for like superpower status.
Mhm.
And they have to ask Buckaroo permission to like launch nukes.
Yeah,
Well, they have to because it's Buckaroo Banzai.
insane.
His name is
I
in the
know.
title.
Everyone seems to like that's the kind of the attitude of this movie is that like it's almost like duh, yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. Like
Yeah.
shame on
Yeah.
you for questioning it. Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's supposed to stand outside this building with a cowboy suit. What else was he supposed to do? Duh.
Right. Right. And you kind of touched on it, Mike, and I definitely got this vibe too, but I definitely presented like this is the season finale for season 3 of this show that everyone is watching.
Yes.
And it's like you should have known like, you should know all these characters, and it just it does. I normally I'm a fan of movies that don't hold your hand and like be like, this is the bad guy. You can tell because he has horns and he's all red. You know, like usually I'm a fan of that, but like when a movie does like no explaining, it has like it
Right.
makes no sense, then you're like, uh, I'm just here for the vibes, I guess.
Yeah. I
So,
mean,
yeah.
this movie does the opposite of holding your hand. It like chops your hand off, replaces it with a tentacle, and tries to convince you you've always had that tentacle.
Yeah, it gaslights you into thinking it's a movie.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, did you want a whole cinematic universe? Oh, don't worry, we'll just front load it for you. Here. Have
Yeah.
fun.
It was it was like 10 years of Marvel universe building. And
All at
just
once?
in the explanation of who
Yeah.
Buckaroo Banzai is.
Yeah.
At
You
the
could have a
very
series
beginning.
just about his parents.
Yeah, at the very beginning, he was Doctor Strange, Tony Stark. I don't know what Marvel guy's in a band,
Oh.
and
That's a
the
good
biopic for Queen in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Did we
Kind of
talk
crazy.
about Ellen Barkin? How she decides that like I want to be sad in this concert, and Buckaroo Banzai doubles down by singing a depressing song to make her even more sad, which
Yeah.
prompts her to pull
Yeah.
out a gun and off herself.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that was That was a great scene.
that was kind of unreal because Buckaroo's doing his thing. He's jamming out on stage, and I guess he sees, Miss Penny Pretty, looking sad in the audience. I guess he's the only one who sees it. Just stops the whole music, stops the music, tells, hey, get a light and a mic on her. I want to talk to her. Like, what's been going on, huh?
It's literally
what's got you
YN
down?
at the concert.
Yeah, and so he does try to cheer her up with the most depressing piano ballad ever, in which she almost does put a pistol to her temple, and but thankfully other people intervene. They stop. A shot goes off, and all of a sudden the entire band pulls out their heat. Like
My God.
Apparently this
everyone's
happens
on double
often.
pistols. The drummer behind the kit pulls out an Uzi, I think, and just everyone is packing at this event. And yeah.
I know. And part of me thinks like they wanted to differentiate themselves from Doctor Who. Doctor Who's like, no guns, no guns. Well, this whole entire band of Doctor Who's is full guns. Let's
All
solve
guns,
it with an
all the
Uzi.
time.
All guns. Yes.
Right. Oops, all guns. And and like to the point that like the regulars, the Blue Blazer regulars, like they're like, hey, let's give this child a gun.
Yes.
Which is a war crime.
You're getting ahead of ourselves, but yes, that is very important to point out. They do enlist a child in their
private
squad
military
of
force.
freedom fighters, and they give him a freaking assault rifle. Yes, that does in fact take place.
One
Well,
of
Oh,
several war
Buckaroo.
crimes committed by
Oh,
Buckaroo.
Buckaroo. There he goes again, doing war crimes.
But we trust him.
Yeah. And so
Do we?
I'm sorry.
I don't know if we do trust him.
Do we? Well, we're
he has
kind
a
of
mediocre band. Of course we trust him.
Yeah, and
I had, like,
apparently
3
he
jobs.
knows everything that's going on before it happens. Because once he goes to the jail to, I guess, bail out Penny, but not before they have this bizarre conversation about where she grew up. And she talks about, yes, I'm from this one place in Montana or Idaho. I'm not sure. It's somewhere out in the Midwest. But no, not that city. I was from here. I was adopted. And Buckaroo is like, oh, that's it. Of course. Why didn't I think of it? And like, huh? You
You're
want
the
to...
twin of my dead wife.
Yeah,
Is there
apparently.
a payoff to that storyline?
Well, apparently that's all the exposition that we get is what Mike said, is apparently at one point Buckaroo was married, then he was not, and then he found Penny. So, yeah.
And then he gaslights her via creating a fake World War III situation with fake aliens to get her to fall in love with him.
Not no.
Exactly.
And so I mean, what like the first place that he decides to take Miss Pretty to is the press conference for the experiment in the desert with a jet truck, where they discuss through some exposition that this, in fact, was a follow-up experiment to one that had been performed about 50 years earlier between the chief researcher. I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but he's the older Asian.
The Japanese guy.
Yeah, yeah. He worked on a similar experiment back in like 1938 Italy with a Dr. Emilio Lizardo, which we get this flashback scene of them working in this lab in a warehouse.
John Lithgow.
Yes, John Lithgow. He's in this, his own like test pilot jumpsuit, kind of dressed up like a dirigible pilot or something. And he's on this ramshackle cart on this track, and well, the experiment doesn't go quite as well as Banzai's did in the desert, where Banzai went through an entire mountain with a jet truck. He manages to just get stuck in a hole in a wall. Like, just, it's this comically, like, he's half phased through, from the waist up. He's just in the eighth dimension, where, this is where he gets possessed by John Worfen, the chief evil red lectroid. And it's ever since this moment that he's been plotting to mobilize all of his fellow red lectroids on Earth in order to go back to Planet 10 and take over their home from the benevolent black lectroids. But to do that, he's got to have a working oscillation overthruster.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
to be honest, that's when things got confusing.
Oh no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And we're going to try to make a little sense out of the confusion best we can, because in the present day, John Worfen, in the body of Dr. Emilio Lizardo, is in an insane asylum. He's watching the press conference on a TV while he's conducting his own bizarre experiment on himself, which apparently involves hooking an electrode up to his tongue and shocking himself to, I guess, activate a stimulus center in his brain. Yeah, just, this man is not right. He's clearly not right. And we know that he isn't right. Because,
Amen.
Yeah.
This is probably, I'm going to go out and say, of all the movies we've watched, this is the hammiest performance we've seen.
Well,
and there's
more than
actually
War of the
a quote.
Worlds.
I would say yes. There's
More than
actually a quote from John Lithgow where he said this is the craziest he ever got in a role, and he was kind of scared to do it.
Hold on a second.
Because he is going just insane the whole time.
He did 6 seasons of Third Rock from the Sun. How is this the hammiest?
Well, I mean, probably because his character's name is John Butthole.
Oh, Big Booty?
No.
Yeah, sorry, John.
That's Christopher Lloyd's character.
Oh,
that's
you're
John
right,
Big
right.
Booty.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Or
This
Big
is
Booty,
John
as he insists. Yes.
Oh, and also, we also skipped over this. All the bad guys are named John. I
Yeah.
don't know
Yes.
if we talked
All of
about
the
that.
evil aliens, their names are
Yes.
John.
Yes. So to
Yep.
cut through a little bit more of the ambiguity, these red lectroids have apparently been on planet Earth since 1938 thereabouts. Um they they apparently crossed over on Halloween um of that year, the same time
Yes.
that War of the Worlds,
Yes.
the radio broadcast by Orson Welles, went on the air and declared, "We interrupt this broadcast to announce aliens have landed." Apparently, that was the whole like radio show play thing. That was apparently a cover up because red lectroids did in fact invade Earth, and the first thing they did 2 days after getting here was to apply for social security numbers under assumed names that all have the same first name, John. We got John Wharfin, John Big Booty, John Smallberries,
It's
John.
my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. Just all kinds of double entendre going on with these Johns.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed you didn't give us John names, Mike, at the start. I was waiting for it.
Oh my gosh.
Man,
We
I
got to
was so
restart.
thrown off by this whole movie. I was gonna just name us all after saxophones. 'Cause that's the only part I understood.
Just have saxophone noises on
Yeah.
cue for when we speak.
Mhm.
Well, I was gonna say my my John name was gonna be John Horntooty. So you know, you know,
Full
feel free. You
circle.
guys feel inspired to come up with your own John names, and you at home play along. Come up with
Yes.
your own John name.
Try it at home. Play it with
Yeah, try it at
friends.
home.
My name is John Barteni.
Oh,
I'm John Spaghetti Wall.
okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'll be John Dumbledore.
Oh,
Not
oh.
yeah, yeah. Going to working with the whole the double entendre angle there.
Fascinating.
And there you
Well,
have
that's
it, an
so.
exciting game.
Yep. Play it over and over.
Yeah.
hmm
So,
So,
how did this movie land with you guys? I know we've talked a little bit about the plot and et cetera, but like how as a movie experience, how did this land with you guys?
oh,
It was like you do you ever do you know those people who kind of they start figuring out a problem in their head? It's like they're going through all of the steps to figure it out, and then they just give you the answer without any kind of context as to how they got there. That's kind of what watching this movie was like for me.
Interesting.
It's
Yeah.
like we got the answer to this, crazy, quantum equation, like, but you didn't show your work, dude. We don't know how did we get here.
right, right. See,
What were the rest of you guys?
I came in thinking, okay, this is so cool. This is based on a series my parents used to watch. I mean, it has to be the way they're presenting it. This has to be like a show that like is just so rich. Um, and then I learned it's been fabricated to be rich with details. that your brain is forced to make up on its own because they're refusing to tell you what they do. And then I thought to myself, oh, that's a lot of homework. That's a lot of stuff
That's a
I
lot
gotta
of
do.
words. Too bad I'm
Yeah.
not reading them.
Yeah. That's a lot of stuff my brain has to do for your movie to make sense and be good. I don't think I'm doing that homework, Mr. Richter.
Mm-mm.
It felt like it was part of like this big inside joke. Like everybody knows these jokes,
Mm-hmm.
everyone knows these inside. But like even if you look at the notes of how it was made, like everyone was just like writing down notes and looking at it and being like, "Yeah, let's just do that." Yep. So it really was spaghetti being thrown at a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like a big improv experiment, you know.
Without editing.
Um, mm, yeah, for sure. It's like uh, no idea is a bad idea. Well, upon watching this, you might disagree with that sentiment. There might be a few bad ideas.
I mean,
Yeah.
it felt cool. Like it felt like, oh man, I really want to be part of this universe because it's so confident. But then,
It
Right.
is.
and then it felt exclusive. Like you guys don't want me as part of this universe. That's why you're not slowing down to tell me anything. You don't want me to know about you. You want me to
It's a
leave you
click.
alone.
Yeah. What about what about you, Ivy? How did it land with you?
So here's my thing,
Yeah.
and I've been thinking about this a lot, and it's hard to articulate what I'm getting at, so hopefully it's understandable. Now, I cannot speak for the intention of, the makers of this and everyone involved, of how it was supposed to come off and what it was supposed to be. But clearly it has a pretty large, I would say, cult following. My dad's cousin loves this movie. It's like his favorite movie, and he's like begged me to watch it for years. So I finally got to see it. And
You're welcome.
here's yeah, check that off my list. I'll probably send this to him once it's out. Uh I clearly it is trying to be funny, right? Like there's parts that are like, oh haha, like that was their attempt at humor. But I'm not sure where the I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like haha funny or like this is a bit funny, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, sure.
there's things in it that are genuinely hysterical. There's elements of it. Just the fact that he's like, the coolest guy ever and he does everything. And there's this one part that just made me bust out laughing where the kid that we mentioned, he's on the phone with Buckaroo and he goes out to get his dad or something, and they like live in a gas station, I guess. And he runs outside, and his dad is selling sofas outside. And there's people like testing the sofas, and there's no payoff. It's just like a one, like they show it once,
Yeah.
and
Zero
it's
context.
hilarious.
No
Yeah,
payoff.
yeah, it's just like it feels like an SNL skit, like or like Spinal Tap. Like it's just something that it's like this is like an inside joke, kind of like you said. But it's
Yeah.
like every scene is just madness, and you're like, is this because they, like you said, just throwing spaghetti at the wall, or is it supposed to be funny because it's a satire of sci-fi and it's like just a big joke. Like you got people saying
Mm.
big booty and all these awkward scenes and like it's like it has to be intentional in some way. And I feel like from what I have seen online, because I scrolled through some reviews, some of the people that really like it genuinely like it because they're like, oh, it's just madness and they were just doing whatever and they're like, They just didn't care. And it's like, I feel like the way you should come at this movie is that it's supposed to be funny, not in a like, oh, this is like, haha funny. But I think it's supposed to be like one big joke. It's a bit, it's a skit. And when you view it through that lens, it becomes better because you're like, oh, it's not supposed to make sense. This is
Right.
just like every scene is a new skit. And it's supposed to
Yeah.
make you laugh. Like, I
Fascinating.
it's hard to explain, but that's
Yeah.
how I
No.
viewed it.
I
And
think
that's
we're
how
with
I
you.
got entertainment from it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hyperbole of
Exactly.
how people think like space serials should run and
Yes.
sci-fi serials.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, it strings us along from one non sequitur to the other.
Yes.
And, this is like the exact opposite of what, any film in the MCU is set up to do, which I should mention, they do show comic books in the movie depicting Buckaroo Banzai that are published by Marvel Comics. And in fact, there was a limited run Buckaroo Banzai Marvel Comics series that ran through, late 84, early 85. So technically, Buckaroo Banzai might actually be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh my goodness. That's what's going to happen in Doomsday. It's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter Weller, like CGI to be young, just comes out.
Yes, everyone gets the battle world.
He's
it's
gonna show up on a
Buckaroo
motorcycle.
and the Hong Kong Cavaliers.
Yeah. Perfect Tommy.
Yes.
We can only
Perfect
hope.
Tommy will be returning in Doomsday.
A part of me thought like this has to be the Guardians of the Galaxies like before Guardians of the Galaxies, because it's got that cool vibe to it. It's like my son's been watching a lot of Uncle Grandpa, please don't judge. And Uncle Grandpa has this character named Pizza Steve, and Pizza Steve is so cool. And I just thought, man, this Peter Weller is Pizza Steve.
Dude, you just said his name, and I already want to hang out with Pizza Steve.
I have to Google Pizza Steve.
He already sounds like a cool guy.
If you want a show that's taking the same meds as Buckaroo Banzai, Uncle Grandpa is the show for you.
The first image on Pizza Steve is a half-naked pizza from the back. For me, it's like he's a pizza with sunglasses with butt cheeks.
That's the same one.
That does fit the universe of Uncle Grandpa.
Delightful. Yeah, I concur with all the reviews so far, and here's mine. And stay with me. There's a little bit of a setup.
Oh yeah.
So, I think in terms of the scale of serious or straight to camp, there's like four kind of like really distinct areas that a movie can fall into. I think the first one is a movie like The Room, right? Where it's a movie that Tommy Wiseau meant to be like a straight, serious movie, but it is camp, right?
Yes.
Whereas a movie like Rocky Horror Picture Show is a movie that was intending to be camp, and it is camp.
I like where you're going with this.
So then on the very, very end of this other end of the spectrum, movie like Schindler's List, right, is a serious movie that's played and presented seriously, right?
Yes.
So whereas like so the the Rocky Horror Picture Show is all the way on the left with camp, Schindler's List all the way to the right, being played straight. The room is like somewhere in this like weird middle area, but I think opposite of the room is Buckaroo Banzai, where it's a movie that is camp, but it's played serious, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it
All right, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
it's kind of like The Dark Knight, right? Where it's like this very camp, very like weird, outlandish scenario, but it's played super serious by everyone involved, right? Everyone in the universe accepts everything that is happening as it's true. It makes sense. But the
Mhm.
situation, when you take a step back and you look at it and you're like, this is actually ridiculous.
It is.
And
Yes.
but none of the people in the thing acknowledge that it's ridiculous,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
but it also doesn't refer to itself as as like a movie or a play or like they're actors on a stage. It's like they're in this experience, and so it's like a movie that is camp, but it's played like it's like a straight serious movie. And I think that's where the tonal disconnect comes in. I think that's why some people either really really like it or they really really hate it, right? If because I think the way that the movie is shot and it's framed and it's written, it all says this is a very serious science fiction movie. But when you watch this things unfold, you're like, that guy's name is John Big Booty.
It's
And
Big
but
Booty.
but like they don't acknowledge it. You know what I mean? There's not
Yeah.
like this dude, this why does this alien have like this weird Jamaican accent? Who knows? But they just accept it that he does. Right?
That
Or
was the perfect way to explain it. And that's where the humor came from for me.
right.
Because I'm like, that
Mhm.
has to be intentional. Like, I don't know.
Right. But like and what's funny is that like the gags that happen on screen that should that are gags to the audience, the people in the universe are like, yeah, of course. Like, of course this is what happens with Buckaroo Banzai. He's a samurai astrophysicist, in a band. Like, of course, it's Buckaroo Banzai. Like, why is this white dude named Buckaroo Banzai? I don't know. That doesn't even make sense. You know, why does this private, military corporation have, nuclear launch codes, and the USSR and the US defer to him on interplanetary diplomacy because he's Buckaroo Banzai. And then they like sprinkle some Twin Peaks in there, right, where it's like this weird like love story where he's like pining after his long lost wife that's like somehow kind of reborn in this like in her long lost twin sister. But how much of it is actually just Buckaroo Banzai gaslighting her into loving him? I don't know. it's it's
Try
a
not to
crazy
read too far into that.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. Very well said.
Clever girl.
Mhm. Mhm.
That was
I
wild.
also need to talk about the very last scene, right? Like as and before the credits roll. And I think if you go like watch just this scene on YouTube, it perfectly encompasses like the
Mm.
experience of the whole movie. Because it's just a scene where like there's this big, I don't even know what it is. It's just a big area, a big concrete area. And everyone, the entire cast is just walking, and they just walk, and they just
Oh
like
yeah.
gather more of them as they
It's like
go. And
it's
it's
like their
like in a
curtain call.
certain, yeah, and it's like in a certain context that could, look good or look cool or whatever, but they're playing the most uncool, like dorkiest music. It's not like, heavy music, and everyone's just walking, and you don't know where they're going, and it's just shots of everybody walking, and then they walk away, and that's it.
And that's
It's
the
like
whole movie.
it lends
Yeah.
to the whole persona of the
Absurdity of it.
movie that
Yeah.
Buckaroo Banzai is a guy who is inherently cool without trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the Hong Kong Cavaliers are inherently cool because they're with Buckaroo Banzai, even though, some of them are named Perfect Tommy, and one of them dresses up like a Roy Rogers cowboy, and yeah, it's just unapologetically unique.
Yeah. I feel like if this movie came out in 2026, it would be nominated for an Oscar for how
I don't know
meta
about
it
that.
is. Like, it's just like, oh man, Ryan Gosling as Buckaroo Banzai, and it's a world you should know, but you shouldn't know. It's
I
making
feel-
fun of the Marvel universe, but it's not. Like,
I
totally.
feel like
I think
I
you're
feel
giving
like-
it too much credit.
Yeah, I feel like in 2026, this would be a movie made by a YouTuber and, his crew
Exactly.
of friends and fellow influencers. Like
This is like a Gen Z skit.
yeah, with like Baby No Money as Buckaroo Banzai and Markiplier as Perfect Tommy, and I don't know, Mr. Beast as New Jersey. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just trying to do what
Yeah.
they did when they wrote this thing.
The same crack that they were on.
Hmm.
Here's something. How can your movie be so crazy that, like, Christopher Lloyd seems normal? Where you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
nothing he did really came out where you're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, Christopher Lloyd was in this.
I barely noticed it was him.
Mhm.
Right. Well, how crazy it is that we've gotten, 50 odd minutes into this podcast, and I have yet to mention that the voice of Mr. Krabs is in this movie. Like that's how crazy this movie is.
That's right.
Clancy Brown is Rawhide, which is
Of
wild,
course. Why wouldn't he be?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
right? Or the fact that the president of the United States is played by the dude that's a Nazi in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That was done on purpose.
Maybe, but like that's it's insane. It's so wild.
Branson legend Yakov Smirnoff is in this, apparently.
Yes.
Who was
Wait,
that?
As the
Does he
National
play the
Security
president?
Advisor to the president.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
Which is a little ironic considering the time period.
Well, I still stick by my idea that James Gunn would be the head of this project. And that
I could see it.
this would be all his idea. Like,
Hmm.
I need to be on the 5th episode and assume everyone's been watching the series, and things are going to happen, but we're all going to do it with a straight face. All right, go.
Yeah.
I feel like if anyone in Hollywood would be capable of, giving us a Buckaroo Banzai reboot, it would be James Gunn. No one else. No one else could do it, or I mean, let's be honest. No one else would really want to.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely not Christopher Nolan.
Well,
No,
see,
he's too highbrow for this.
here's where I would disagree with you. I don't know if you've seen Tenet, but it's the the I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. The ambition of the plot, I think, for this movie is very on par with what happens in Tenet. Like it's not that much of a stretch. The See, and I think that's also one of the key differences. I think they're both are these. It's like Tenet is a serious movie that's trying to be presented as serious, whereas Buckaroo Banzai is like camp, you know? So like it like you know what I mean? Like it's like this serious science fiction, but they're playing into like I don't think that they're trying to make a meta commentary on anything. I think they're just saying this is this is it. Like this is it's
Yeah.
you need to take this at face value. I don't think it's they're trying to do anything that they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Well,
like
the
being
direct
unapologetically confident in what they're doing, no matter
Yeah.
how goofy people think they look.
yeah, the creative mind behind it was like sending notes every day, like let's try this, let's try that. You know, please studio, don't get involved. We want to go in any crazy direction. And the studio, I successfully did not like touch this or try to wrangle it back. They didn't say, "Oh, well, we got to keep up with that Star Wars. We want this to be our Star Wars." They're like, "No, do whatever you want, and assume there's going to be a sequel at the end too."
Well, what's crazy is that not only is Christopher Lloyd in this movie, but one of the producers on this also produced Back to the Future, Neil Canton, which is kind of crazy, but
Wow.
I think it's indicative of this idea of um they're trying to pitch this as like a serious movie.
Yeah.
That's one of the great mysteries. Was Buckaroo Banzai supposed to be serious or not? We'll never know.
And then you say, "That's not the question.
Oh, what's the real question?
The real question is, did you like it?"
Yeah, let's
How would
land
you
this
rate
thing.
it on To Be Decided?
Uh, yeah, but I do really think that this movie is very much so embodies the spirit of what this podcast is. You know what I mean? Like it is.
Yeah.
It does also feel like everyone that was involved. I think we said this last time with I can't remember which movie. But it does feel the Wood Chipper movie. The Wood Chipper Massacre. Um,
Yeah.
where like it does feel like that everyone that was involved was just having a good time.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
I think that they I don't think that you have the sheer amount of talent there, and for them, for people to be like, yeah, they were just phoning it in. They weren't really trying. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
do think that they, because I think if any one of them was just trying to phone it in, like if Peter Weller was just like phoning it in, you would be able to tell.
Yeah.
And,
It wouldn't
uh,
be as entertaining.
right. And I think just the fact that everyone, it seems, really believed in the project, I think is a testament to its quality despite its very, very obvious flaws.
I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's important that everyone has fun.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Well, this movie was nominated in 1985 for Best Supporting Actor from a Saturn Award, Best
Oh.
Writing Saturn Award, but it didn't nail it. So,
Hmm.
kind of curious to see what beat out this movie.
Interesting.
Hmm. And we
That
haven't
is really
even
weird.
we haven't even gone into like the second half of the plot of this, which apparently is about it leans heavily into fascism because these red lectroids are here. They're trying to go back to planet 10 to subjugate the black lectroids from who are taking control of their planet, because they're all basically war criminals. And to mobilize them, John Warfarin kind of props himself up as this like weird alien Mussolini type character, because the aerospace company Yoyodyne in the film is actually a front for the red lectroids. Now, in their pursuit to try to cross back over through the 8th dimension to get back to the 10th planet. And
Yeah. Let me cut you off there because I have
Mhm.
questions.
Well, I have
First of all,
answers, I hope.
so these guys appeared in 1930s, and it took them
Mhm.
50 years to come up with this plan. Like, was the plan to always watch TV until someone else came up with this invention? Because that's a horrible plan. Secondly, these guys are like the next Hitler, right? But like they don't come off as threatening it at all. What was their like master plan, like for five evil aliens to like take over the black lectroids? Like, what were they gonna do? They didn't have any like mega weapons. They didn't have any like they didn't have an end game. They were just gonna just like show up to the planet and start like
Mm.
just demanding things.
Well,
Which
that's a fair point. That's a fair
yeah,
point, Mike. And I would have to answer by pointing out the fact that John Warfarin is crazy. Like like as insane as quote unquote Emilio Lizardo is, he is freaking bonkers. Okay? Like he's definitely lost the plot. And as as much as he's been sort of like cracking the whip on his red lectroid, you know, uh, comrades, and trying to mobilize them to get back to planet 10, uh, no one really seems to have a clear idea of how they or like what they want to do when they get back to it. Like it was a poorly conceived plan from the beginning, because
Yeah.
right.
his goal was to steal the working, you know, oscillation overthruster so they can cross over. But, Lazardo at the end sees that's not going to pan out. Screw it. We're just going to use my overthruster, the clearly inferior one that, barely got one person through a wall. And so, yeah, spoiler alert, they don't get to planet 10. Like, too bad. So sad. But, that of course affords Banzai and company the opportunity to swoop in and save the day, because they pick up an ally in a John, gosh, too many Johns. John Parker. John Parker, who is a black Lectroid who was sent as an envoy from John Emdahl, the leader of the peaceful black Lectroids. And he is convincing them to foil this plan of the red Lectroids, or else Endall is basically going to like she has this device like trained over the USSR, I guess, which makes it look like they're mobilizing for nuclear war. So basically her plan is to, have us foil the plot of the red Lectroids before she can force, us to destroy ourselves, basically. I can't explain it any clearer than that.
Nor should you.
Yeah, that second half of the movie, I kind of like fuzzed out.
Yeah, the camp started falling flat there.
Yeah.
Like the camp could only carry the movie so far.
Yeah.
Because things got dark from that point on. Because, they've taken Penny Pretty hostage because, she's the Mary Sue of the film. And, the Dr. Hikita, Dr. Hikita has entrusted her with keeping the Overthruster safe. Well, she gets captured anyway. And the red Lectroids end up torturing her for information about the Oscillation Overthruster. The very Overthruster device that is in her purse, that's with her when they take her. You think that when you take a hostage, the first thing you do is immediately conduct a search of their personal belongings. It's like, sir, we found the Overthruster that we were looking for. Where was she hiding it? In her purse. Oh, okay. Well, wind down the torture chamber. Power down the slug of doom. We're not gonna torture her after all, because we, in fact, are not too stupid to find, this this MacGuffin inside the purse that she's been carrying this whole time.
Yeah, you got to make the villain a little bit credible. You can't make them, Captain
Can't make him
Hardhat.
completely out to lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to give him a little Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where it's kind of making you think, well, why is everyone getting so excited? It doesn't seem like these guys, this is not Zod in the Phantom Zone.
No.
This is like
Far from it.
This is an annoying neighborhood kid with a poorly conceived plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like a sub-antagonist at best.
And just so you're wondering, the 1984 Saturn Awards gave Best Director to Joe Dante of Gremlins, Best Horror Film, Gremlins, Best Fantasy Film, Ghostbusters, Best Science Fiction, The Terminator. So there was no chance this movie was going to win.
Yeah, all deserved.
Horror film Gremlins.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And apparently Best Special Effects was Gremlins over Terminator and Ghostbusters.
You're saying the year Nightmare on Elm Street and Chud came out, Gremlins got best horror. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe we don't trust Saturn Awards. I haven't figured that out yet.
Well, the other movies probably didn't have enough saxophones.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Well, if I may land this plane,
This rocket car.
this rocket car, as we leave the eighth dimension, which, by the way, that science is bizarre.
Bulletproof? Oh.
To find these
They
aliens, you have
consulted
to
real
go.
scientists, guys.
To find these aliens, you have to go inside rocks to see them. But do these aliens know that, like, there's tons of negative space they could live around too? I'm not going to get into it.
Too many questions.
Look at my essay, my thesis on this movie is coming out. Go to that. What? Let's go to what we liked about this movie. The genuine compliment that you give this movie, and I think it might be pretty easy in this one because there's a lot to like. As confusing as this movie was. Adam, we'll start with you. What did you like about this movie?
Man,
and why is it saxophones?
I mean, just the sheer amount of talent that was in this movie. I mean, we have, this movie by itself has an EGOT. There's like people had, there's Emmy winners in this. There's Tony Award winners. There's Grammy winners in this. Academy Award winners. The cinematographer was Fred J. Cronenkamp. Who famously, of course, did Patton and The Towering Inferno. The cast, Peter Weller, John Lithgow, one of the most celebrated actors of, any generation, Jeff Goldblum, Christopher Lloyd, even, W.D. Richter, the guy that directed it. He did movies like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where he, of course, met Jeff Goldblum. But yeah, it's just like it just the amount of talent that is on screen and behind the screen, and just the love. It just you just feel the love for just the art of creating something. It just oozes out of this.
Yeah.
Well said. Vin, what did you think this movie got right?
Well, I love things that are weird. This movie was definitely weird. I wouldn't go so far to say that I love this movie. It's definitely something that I feel like it should be experienced at least once by anyone who's, who any like self-proclaimed sci-fi, aficionado. Because it is just, it's so confident in and how cool it thinks it is. Despite what it might actually look like on the outside, they were very confident in making this movie. Like, again, they had high hopes for this thing. The end card, said, Buckaroo Banzai will return in, against the World Crime League or something like that, which, spoiler alert, never happened. Too bad. So sad.
Zero
no
payoff.
Sequel. But
oh well.
I just wish more projects were. I just wish more, creators had this kind of confidence in their work. Like, oh, we shouldn't do that because it just doesn't quite fit the vibe of the kind of movie we want to make. It's like, No, do it. Do it. You want to, you know, put together a band of scientists, named Perfect Tommy in New Jersey and Rawhide and yeah, go for it. Go for it. You want to give a kid an assault rifle in the big confrontation against the red Lectroids? Go nuts, pal. Like,
Amen.
Why not?
sure, it might not pan out well with this audience or that audience, but I mean, at least if you if you have fun doing it, I feel like it's worth it
Mm.
to make a project like this, because then it'll be like 40 years later, and people will still be talking about your weird ass film that you made with this whole cinematic universe that doesn't exist.
Right, right.
Yeah. Ivy, what did you think?
I mean, I can only, restate what I've said and what Adam has said. I just like the humor in it.
Mm.
And, some would say, oh, it's just being wacky and quirky. But I think that it's just, well, the way I would like to view it is just that it's a big skit. And I think that some
Mhm.
parts of it are very funny. And I like that you can tell everyone's having a good time. So
Yeah.
overall, you know, not a terrible viewing experience. It does get old eventually, but yeah.
Yeah,
Confidently
I agree.
silly.
Yeah.
I agree with all of you guys. This movie had me hooked, lined, and sunk because
Oh,
I believed that there was this world, and I was inches away from trying to see like the backlog of Buckaroo Banzai and how can I get into this world? Like why did our timeline get Star Wars when Buckaroo Banzai could we could be on Buckaroo Banzai episode 9 right now
Yeah.
with 3 spin-offs on Disney.
In another
But
universe, there was only one Star Wars movie, and there's been 10 Buckaroo Banzai movies.
right, and I was ready. I was ready to accept the fate, and then the movie kind of is like, well, just kidding. You fell for it. There's nothing in this world that you can follow through on, um, including a sequel.
yeah.
So there's more like heartbreak. Like, why did you make me think this world existed? Um,
Yeah.
with
And
such confidence too.
mm, I think the better comp is actually to the Fast and the Furious franchise. Um,
Mm,
but I think the key difference is the Fast and the Furious franchise is trying to be serious, but it can only be taken as camp. And I think that's the key difference between that and this. Like, could you imagine if we got, the Fast and the Furious franchise level treatment for Buckaroo Banzai? Like the hundreds of millions of dollars poured into like a production budget. Like how crazy that would be. And like I feel like the casts like are pretty comparable too, right? Like, you got your
yeah.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson, you got your John
Vin
Cena's,
Diesel,
yeah, your Vin Diesels.
Ludacris,
Yeah, exactly.
Paul Walker, R.I.P.
RIP, but ironically, funnily enough, I can see John Lithgow in both these movies in Shining. Um, but yeah, but I think also the key difference is the earnestness of the movie. Like, when you're watching Fast and the Furious movie, you're like, this is just a money grab. When you're
Mm.
Yeah.
watching this, you're like, they were trying to burn money. There was no way they were
Mhm.
trying to make this movie profitable.
Yep, and they didn't.
and
It
they
didn't do so well.
Shocking.
Hmm. Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk?
The same could be said about Clue, though. Clue didn't do as well as they'd
No.
hoped, but now it's a household name. So
Clue is
sometimes,
Clue's on my Mount Rushmore. I love Clue so much.
yeah. So I guess sometimes you can just go, you can skip your generation and say, you're not going to buy into this, but man, your grandkids are going to love this.
I think Clue is a good example too of like how I think one should view this movie is like it's just sci-fi Clue. Like
It's sci-fi Clue. Oh my gosh, dude! I
also
love
this is our
so much.
second Peter Weller movie,
Yeah,
That's right.
What was their first?
Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. He didn't age at all.
Well, I mean, the two movies were probably not shot too far apart.
True. True.
It's true.
Yeah, Leviathan was shot in 1989. When was this movie made?
This is 5 years later.
1984.
84.
Yeah, not that far apart. When
Good point.
when was RoboCop? Was RoboCop after this?
1990. Oh,
Okay.
is RoboCop 2.
Oh, okay. So what was the first one?
You only get to know
Pause.
the second one.
Yeah, we only get to know the second one.
1987.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they
Interesting.
made a
So
they made a
so
kids
but
cartoon in 1988. That's weird.
that is weird.
That's not that weird. Every
Yeah.
PG-13, even R-rated films had a Saturday morning cartoon variant of it back then.
I found an official Rambo coloring book at a thrift store one time.
Nice.
Nice. Well,
Well, speaking of Rambo coloring books,
mm,
Adam, I hope
Oh.
you're going to say the same thing.
yes.
Tubi, what's their Tubi rating?
Mm,
Is this Tubi the greatest? To be enjoyed? To be experienced? To be tolerated? Or to be avoided?
mm,
I'll go first. I'm going to say to be experienced this movie.
mm.
A little heartbroken because I think it's a great premise. And as Vin, you already said, more people need to take this confidence, and I 100% agree.
Mm.
This movie jumps into it like Scott Pilgrim did.
Hmm.
And that's a compliment. That's the highest compliment.
I like that comparison.
Yeah. So who's next?
I guess
I'll
I'll
gladly.
go.
Oh, go.
I What are the categories again? Where can I put this?
To be greatest, to be enjoyed, to be experienced, to be tolerated, and to be avoided.
Yeah. I think I invented the to be experienced, so I'll go ahead and stick another one in that one because
Oh,
I think that pretty much sums it up.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. And Adam.
I'm gonna put this solidly in to be enjoyed. I think you should do yourself a favor. I
Oh.
feel like Tubi is the perfect platform for this kind of movie, and I feel like this is definitely embodies everything we stand for as a podcast. But I do think if they had just tightened the plot up a little bit, I think it would be safely in the to be the greatest. But I think this is solidly in to be enjoyed. And at 100 episodes, if we don't find anything else that comes close, maybe this will be to be the greatest.
Maybe.
Oh, so they can be promoted. That's new.
Why not?
Or
After a certain amount of
demoted.
time, yeah. It's like seniority.
Exactly.
We keep demoting Santa Werewolf.
That can't sink any lower.
Yes.
Well, War of the Worlds is definitely the worst. That's
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
that the bar for that is underground.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Truly
even on
horrifying.
Tubi, and we had to hate it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
That one cheated anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We had to watch it though. We had to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Civic
It was like
duty.
the fates ordained us.
Mm.
But
If anything, it was to prepare us for this day to review this movie.
yeah.
It all comes
Yeah,
together.
with the War of the Worlds tie-in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everything happens for a reason. Because no matter where you go, there you are.
There you are.
Great.
The more you
I-
think about that quote, the less it makes sense.
Yes. I was genuinely pleased to learn the origin of that quote. I mean, because I've, it's one of those things, you hear all the time, one of those
Yeah.
quotable quotes that, your friends say. And then to actually see it in its original context, it's like, it's like, wow, it's like I'm meeting patient zero right here. And that leads me to my decision, my final rating for this film. I would also have to agree with Adam that this is something that's to be enjoyed. Not for the serious movie that everyone like expects it to be, not because, oh, you have to see Buckaroo Banzai because it's Buckaroo Banzai, because it's just that again, I just have to bring it back to that, those like equal measures of camp and confidence that really make this movie what it is.
Yeah.
Was it an Oscar contender? No, not by a long shot. I mean, but in spite of its flaws, I feel like it has something to entertain anyone watching it.
Yeah.
Like there's more than a few moments where you will be chuckling, if not like just bust up laughing at what's happening in front of you. Cause it's not a serious movie. It's just Buckaroo Banzai. A guy with seemingly, you know, impenetrable plot armor. That's like a plot force field around this guy. So yes, this is definitely something that's to be enjoyed. I stand by that.
Indeed.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Vin, for picking this movie. You took a gamble and it paid off, I
Yeah.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Our last two movies really paid off. So
Mhm.
it's time for me to break that.
No.
Oh boy.
What are you gonna
Guys.
do?
That the
Not
hat
another
trick is
Dog and
always
Tears
so
movie.
close and yet so far away.
Guys, I want to take us back to 1991,
Oh no.
where Mark Hamill and Vivian Wu starred in The Guyver. Not
The
MacGyver,
my.
The Guyver,
The Guyver.
which is about a young man uncovering a plot to genetically engineer monstrous creatures after merging with a device that turns him into a superpowered cyborg. So, join us in 2 weeks as we watch and talk about The Guyver, directed by Screaming Mad George. I kid you not, that is his name.
Wow.
Only on Tubi. So, pop it into your VCR, get it ready, memorize the lines because we'll have a lot to say about this. Until then, I've been Mike.
I'm Adam.
I'm John Poopmeister.
Oh
know
yeah.
how
Darn it,
got
we
the
missed our
Johns.
cue.
We got the Johns.
And I'm John Dumbledore.
Oh.
And thank you for joining us at To Be Decided.
Mike watches movies that are low on the charts. Adam picks the ones that inspire the arts. Ivy has a brand that has monsters, wolves, and dogs. And Vin tries to pick a movie that isn't a total slog.